Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull has Indiana Jones going on an adventure with Mutt, looking for a crystal skull. So the positives on this film are, I like the 50s aesthetic to the film. It kind of makes it stand out with the decor. I like the music, and the greasers in the film are pretty cool, so I like it. Makes it stand out within the franchise. Harrison Ford, as Indiana Jones, as always, does a very good job in the role. He's cool enough in the film, so he has some pretty iconic lines, some pretty cool lines, like grave robbers will be shot, and he says, "Good thing we're not grave robbers." So I like that. So he's consistently very cool throughout the franchise, and this movie continues that trend. So I like it. I think the action is pretty good in the film. I like the chase in Area 51 in that hangar building, where Indiana Jones is running across the beams on the ceiling. They're shooting at him. There's cars. He swings on the lamp, misses the car, and then goes back. So I really like that. The motorcycle chase is pretty exciting when Mutt goes into a building. So that's cool. The jungle car chase is cool with the sword fighting and the cars driving throughout the jungle. So I like that. The ant scene is pretty creepy when ants are going to attack them, so I like that. So it has good action sequences throughout the movie that I really like. And the final positive is the MacGuffin item, with it being the alien skull, is actually pretty cool. It looks cool with it being like crystal, so I like that. And I like it that it's magnetic, so that makes it really cool. That's probably one of the cooler MacGuffin items. I think it's certainly cooler than Temple of Doom with the rocks and Last Crusade with the Cup of Christ. Not as cool as the Ark of the Covenant, but pretty cool MacGuffin item with the alien skull. That's it for positives. On to the negatives. The first negative is it has so many unbelievably iconic bad moments. Nuking the fridge moment, where Indiana Jones goes into a fridge, and then the nuke comes down. If the radiation didn't kill him already, he certainly would have died by having the fridge fly hundreds of feet through the air and crashing violently onto the ground like 3 or 4 times, let alone having the fridge actually open up so that he can get out. So that is ridiculous. Shia LaBeouf swinging with the monkeys, that is pretty ridiculous. That makes no sense. Now, what makes that not make sense is that it's not necessarily him swinging with the monkeys, it's that he's swinging with the monkeys to catch up to 2 high-speed vehicles. Vehicles that are going like 60 miles an hour, and he's saying he's going as fast, if not even slightly faster, by swinging on vines through the jungle. Of course, the alien reveal in the movie is unbelievable and not a great reveal. I'll get to that a little bit later. And then, of course, another one is the car on the river. First off, when it hits the tree, goes down, and then kind of goes into the water. That's unbelievable. And then, I don't know if that car is supposed to also be a boat. It looks like a boat, but is it supposed to be both? I'm not sure. I think that should have sank. And even if it is a boat, I don't know how they still stay in the boat car after falling twice down a 2 waterfalls. And then also the third one is so deep that they actually fall out of the boat car then, but they're actually still alive. So that just doesn't make any sense how they survived that. So a lot of bad moments throughout the film. Another negative is the villains are not really very memorable. They're just evil people doing evil things, wanting evil stuff. I honestly can't tell you what they're after. Like, basically just knowledge from the aliens, I guess. And the main villain, Irina Spalko, is not very memorable or intimidating, and I had to look up her name for the film to write down her name because I did not remember what her name was. So, only the first 2 movies of this franchise actually have good villains and memorable villains. And spoilers for Dial of Destiny 2, that also doesn't have a very great villain. But only 2 movies in this franchise actually have good villains, actually have intimidating villains. So this franchise has honestly just kind of had a hard time getting good villains past Temple of Doom. And the last negative is, of course, the reveal that it's aliens. That is way too far into the supernatural. I don't like that. That's way too out there. I would honestly enjoy an Indiana Jones movie with no supernatural twist. A good or bad, like, you know, even if you had it, like good or bad, like, whether it's the Ark of the Covenant with the supernatural twist or the aliens with the supernatural twist. And I would honestly like a movie that would just focus on intense, brutal action sequences. And honestly, I think that could have been a really good Indiana Jones movie. You know, whatever that movie would be, if that would be like a new movie or if they would change this movie to that type of film. But honestly, I kind of get why they have aliens, because in the 50s, there were lots of alien movies, alien-type movies, like The War of the Worlds in 53, The Thing from Another World in 51, and Forbidden Planet in 56. So that's why there are aliens, because it's set in the 50s. But then also, when this movie actually came out in 2008, there were popular alien movies, like in the 2000s, like Alien vs. Predator in 2004, Signs in 2002, or even Monsters vs. Aliens in 2009. So, not that I'm really defending it, but I get why they did Aliens. Because it was popular in the 50s, and it's set in the 50s, and it was popular in the 2000s. So that's it for negatives. In the end, I think this movie is watchable. It's honestly kind of hailed as like an awful movie or like worst of all time. And although it's not great, I do think it's actually kind of watchable, and I kind of get a kick out of it. So I actually enjoy it a good bit. So Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull has a lot of problems, but I think it has some good action, and I think it's fairly decent. So that's my review on the movie. Thanks for watching.